The shovel struck something hard. Not rock. Concrete, smooth, cold, like it had been buried on purpose. Karoline, former White House press secretary under President Trump, stared at the flat slab, its sharp edges caked in red New Hampshire dirt. "What the hell is this?" she muttered, filming a close-up with her phone. Red and green lights suddenly flickered, casting eerie reflections onto the newly installed steel gate of her home. Long shadows stretched across her driveway. She had put up that gate after receiving threats on X, right from her own porch. Crossing her arms, Karoline watched two police officers step out of their cruiser. Her neighbor, Emily, a staunch liberal, immediately launched into a dramatic performance. "Officer!" Emily shrieked, her voice high and strained. "Justice! This is a community emergency." She paused for effect, ready to launch into her version of the story. "Comment where you're watching from, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the latest stories," Emily added, ever the drama queen. An older cop, his badge reading Sergeant Doyle, approached Karoline. "Ma'am," he said, his voice calm but firm, "we received a report that you've illegally blocked a public road." Karoline sighed, rubbing her temple. "This is my driveway. Private property. I have the right to lock it." Emily jumped in, her voice shrill. "Not true. Everyone uses this road. You can't just block it. Naga types like you just take over." Karoline's eyes flashed. "People use it because they don't respect boundaries. Doesn't mean it's public." Emily fumed, turning to the cops. She thinks being Trump's lackey means she can do anything. The younger officer, Rivera, glanced at the gate, then froze. A black SUV was creeping by slowly, its windows pitch black. Emily kept yelling, but Karoline's eyes were locked on the vehicle. Something felt deeply wrong. Emily stood there, hands on her hips, eyes blazing. Sergeant Doyle turned to Karoline. "Got papers proving this is private property?" he asked, his voice steady but edged with doubt. Karoline nodded. "Yes." She went inside, grabbed a file from the table and handed it to Doyle. "Here. Ownership documents. This driveway's been mine since I bought the house. Nothing's changed, except I'm tired of freeloaders." She shot Emily a look, her lip curling. She just loves drama. Doyle skimmed the papers, flipping pages, then he nodded. "Legally, she's right. If it's private, she can block it." Emily's jaw dropped, her voice cracking. "What? Are you serious? She's Trump's girl. Of course you'd say that." "This has been a shared path for years." She spun to the younger cop, Rivera, pleading. "She's ruining the neighborhood with that MAGA nonsense." Rivera, quiet until now, looked at Karoline, his eyes not hostile, but curious. "Miss Leavitt, why lock it now? Did something change?" Karoline shrugged, her voice calm but firm. "Just started in D.C. Got threats on X. Enough reason to secure my home, right?" She held up her phone, still live streaming. "X is watching. Thousands agree with me." The screen flashed 10,000 views, comments flooding in. Emily roared, "Threats! You're making that up to justify this. This is public land, not the White House backyard." She yanked her phone out, filming her own video, shouting at the screen. "Look at this Trump stooge blocking our road." Karoline smirked. "Public land, my foot. Sue me, Emily." Doyle sighed, handing the papers back to Karoline. "By law, she's in the right. Nothing to do here." He turned to Rivera. "Let's go." But Rivera didn't move. He looked down the street where the black SUV passed again, slower this time. "Sarge, you see that car?" Doyle frowned, following his gaze. The SUV paused for a second, then sped off around the corner. Karoline frowned, gripping her phone tighter. "That's the second time I've seen it tonight." Rivera stepped to the gate, scanning faint tire marks on the road. "Not a local car. Got cameras?" Karoline nodded, opening her security app. "Whole driveway's covered. I'll check later." She glanced at Emily, now oddly quiet, her eyes fixed on where the SUV had vanished. Doyle waved a hand. "Probably just someone lost. We're done here." But Rivera didn't take his eyes off Karoline. "If anything weird happens, call me. I don't like that car." He handed her his card, his voice low. "I voted for Trump once. Be careful." Karoline gave a slight nod, pocketing it. Doyle pulled Rivera to the car, but his gaze lingered back. Emily, now pale, muttered, "You don't know who you're messing with." Karoline turned, her voice cold. "What did you say, Emily?" Emily shook her head, backing toward her house, but her eyes weren't angry. They were scared. Karoline locked the gate, watched the police leave, then opened her camera app. The dark footage loaded. 2 strangers standing by the driveway last night, right where she had been digging yesterday. Her heart pounded. Karoline stood in her living room, the phone screen's glow lighting her face. The windows were dark, only the wind whistling through the new steel gate's gaps. She rewound last night's footage. 2 figures in black, faceless, standing silently by the driveway, exactly where she had dug. They hadn't vandalized anything, just stood there, then vanished after a few minutes. Her pulse raced, not from fear, but suspicion. Someone knew something. "Someone knows something," she murmured, fingers swiping the screen. Yesterday, she had been digging at the driveway, planning a play spot for her son. But the shovel hit something hard. Not rock, but concrete. Smooth, cold. Like it was buried on purpose. She stopped, filmed it close up. A flat slab, sharp-edged, caked in red dirt. "What the hell is this?" she wondered, sending the clip to White House security via encrypted chat. An hour later, the reply came. "Not enough data to investigate. Stay cautious." Karoline smirked. Typical DC bureaucracy. She sat on the couch, opened her laptop, and replayed all camera footage from the past week. Night 1, after digging, nothing. Night 2, a figure zipped by too fast to see. Night 3, last night. Those 2 showed up, standing over the concrete. She zoomed in, streetlight glinting off their shoulders, faces still blurry. "Not neighbors," she whispered, gripping the mouse. Then she heard it, a faint screech, like metal scraping from the camera audio. She maxed the volume. The screech sharpened, like someone testing the gate lock, then giving up. Karoline stood, stepped to the back porch, flashlight in hand. She shone it on the dig spot. Dirt still messy. But now she saw it clearer. The concrete wasn't just a slab. It had an outline, like a lid to something bigger. She knelt, touched it. Icy, unnatural. "This isn't old house foundation," she told herself, recalling Trump's closed-door rants about Russian plots. Her mind churned. Could this tie to the threats? She went back inside, locked up, checked on her son sleeping in his room. His steady breathing calmed her a bit, but her head spun. Her phone buzzed. An X notification. "Be careful, Karoline. Someone DM'd me saying you're being watched." She opened it, read fast. Anonymous. No name. "Just don't dig more. They're not kidding." She frowned, screenshotted it, sent it to Rivera via his card's number. "Look at this. SUV related." Under 10 minutes, Rivera texted back. "Meet me tomorrow morning. I checked the tire marks, not a normal car." Karoline nodded, set the phone down, but kept staring out the window. She drew the blinds as headlights swept by. The black SUV. 3rd time tonight. Crawling, like it wanted her to see. She raised her phone, filmed through the glass, zoomed on the plate. Blurry, unreadable. "Fine," she muttered. "Let's see who's faster." She posted the clip on X. "Who's this SUV stalking me, over the gate or something else?" X. "Help me find out." The post exploded. The post. 20,000 views in 5 minutes. Comments flooding in. "Trump haters. Stay safe, Karoline." But one stood out. "Ask Emily. She knows something." Karoline frowned, peered through her window at Emily's house. Lights still on. Emily's shadow paced behind the curtains, hands clutching her head like she was stressed. Next morning, pre-dawn, Karoline stood by the driveway, waiting for Rivera. She wore a coat, held coffee, her eyes fixed on the dig spot. Rivera arrived. No uniform, just a hoodie and jeans. "You okay?" he asked, his voice low. She nodded, pointed at the ground. "I dug this up yesterday, then they showed." Rivera knelt, touched the concrete, frowned. "This isn't normal. Too smooth, too deep." Karoline recounted the footage, messages, and SUV. Rivera nodded, pulled out his phone. Tire marks. I checked. Big vehicle. Not registered nearby. Ran the plate last night, not in the system. He looked up, eyes serious. You've touched something you shouldn't. Karoline smirked. Daily life in D.C., but I'm not stopping. She glanced at Emily's house, saw her at the door, staring. Emily stepped out, hands shaky, voice cracking. You don't get it, Leavitt. That thing was... It's dangerous. Karoline turned, her voice icy. What do you know, Emily? Spill it before I find out myself. Emily paled, stepped back. I don't want to be involved, but my brother. He dug there once, then they came. Rivera cut in. Who's they? Emily shook her head, eyes wild. I don't know, but they don't forgive. Karoline stood beside Rivera, her breath fogging in the cold morning air. Emily retreated inside, the door slamming shut. But her words about they echoed in Karoline's head. She turned to Rivera, her voice firm. She knows something, won't talk. You buying this? Rivera shrugged, his eyes on the concrete. I buy she's scared. Those tire marks don't lie. Big vehicle. Unregistered. Someone's watching you. Karoline nodded, checked X on her phone. The SUV post hit 50,000 views, comments everywhere. Stay safe, Karoline. Check underground. A DM popped up. Asked Emily about her brother. He worked for a leftist group. She frowned, screenshotted it, sent it to Rivera. Look at this. Legit? He read fast, nodded. Maybe. I'll dig deeper. You stay careful. Rivera left, leaving Karoline with the concrete and a head full of questions. She went inside, locked up, checked on her son, still asleep, clutching a Trump bear she'd bought in D.C. She smiled, but her chest felt heavy. Her phone buzzed. An anonymous X message. Stop digging, or your whole family pays. She clenched her fist, screenshotted it, sent it to Rivera, then posted publicly on X. They're threatening me. Here's proof. The post blew up. 100,000 views in 20 minutes. That night, she didn't sleep, sitting in the living room, laptop open. She replayed camera footage. The black SUV appeared again. 1:02 a.m. Parked over the concrete, headlights off. She zoomed. Plate blurry, but tire marks clearer, deep, like a military truck. She heard the metal screech, the same lock-cutting sound, but the new steel gate held. Keep trying, she muttered, her hands trembling slightly. She video called her husband. Babe, she said, her voice low, something weird's up at home. SUV, threats, and something underground. He, in Boston for work, frowned. Stop it, Karoline. Don't mess with this. The kid's young. She shook her head. I'm not quitting. This might tie to Trump. I've got to know. He sighed. Then get your mom to watch him. I'm worried. She nodded, hung up, texted her mom. Come help me out for a few days. At 2:00 a.m., a noise, soft but enough to jolt her awake. She killed the lights, grabbed a flashlight, crept to the back porch. The beam hit the driveway. Dirt near the concrete was disturbed, like someone dug and covered it fast. She knelt, saw faint tire marks. SUV again. They're back, she whispered, her heart pounding. She filmed it, posted to X. Someone messed with my driveway at midnight. X, keep watch. Next morning, her mom arrived, holding her son. What's got you so worked up, Karoline? She asked. Karoline forced a smile. Just work, Mom. But trickier than D.C. She went outside, checked the tire marks. Deeper than she'd thought. Bigger than a typical SUV. Rivera showed up in a coat, no uniform. I ran the plate through police systems, nothing. But these tracks, he knelt, measured with his hand. Special vehicle, not civilian. Karoline pointed at the concrete. They want this, Emily said, her voice barely a whisper. Her brother dug here. Then they came. Rivera nodded. I found something. Her brother, Tom, was a leftist reporter. Investigated land around here in 2018. Quit after no one knows why. Karoline frowned. She's been hiding that from the start. I'll get it out of her. She banged on Emily's door. No waiting, just pounding. Emily opened it, pale, eyes shadowed. What now, Leavitt? Karoline stepped forward, her voice cold. Your brother Tom. What did he know about what's underground? Don't lie. They're watching me. Maybe you too. Emily shook her head, backed up. I don't want to be part of this. Tom? He dug there, found something weird. Then they came. Men in black, silent. His house burned a week later. He quit everything. Karoline clenched her fists. Who's they? Emily shook her head, tears falling. I don't know. But last night that SUV parked outside my house. They stood there staring at yours. I'm terrified. Rivera cut in. If they're back, it means Miss Leavitt hit something they want to hide. Karoline eyed Emily, her voice hard. Be scared all you want. I'm not stopping. She turned back home, Rivera following. What's your plan? He asked. She pointed at the concrete. Open it. I need to know what's down there before they move. Rivera frowned. Risky. That SUV is not civilian. Could be government, or worse. Karoline smirked. I worked for Trump. Risks are my job. That night she sat by the window, eyes on the street. The SUV rolled up again. 3:00 a.m. Lingering longer. She filmed, zoomed. A figure stepped out all black, staring at her house. Her phone buzzed. An X message. You won't get away. She screenshotted it, sent it to Rivera, posted on X. They're back. X. I need eyes everywhere. The post hit 200,000 views. But she didn't read comments. Time was running out. She had to act first. She called Rivera. Tomorrow morning, bring tools. We're cracking this open. He paused, then said, All right. But if we go down there, no turning back. Karoline nodded, though he couldn't see. I'm ready. Next morning, fog thick. Karoline stood by the driveway, cold coffee in hand. Her mom was inside, watching her son play with Trump-themed blocks. Rivera pulled up, towing a tool bag, crowbar, flashlight, and a gun tucked in his coat. He stepped out, scanning the quiet street. You sure? He asked, his voice low. Karoline nodded, pointed at the concrete. They won't stop, neither will I. Open it, Rivera. She pulled out her phone, started an X live stream. Folks, I'm about to find out what's under my driveway. If I disappear, this is why. X, keep watch. She panned to the concrete. Dirt around it still marked by last night's faint tire tracks. The stream exploded. 50,000 views in 5 minutes. Comments flying. Watch out, Karoline. Trump would be proud. Rivera frowned. You're streaming this too? She smirked. Public proof's my weapon. Emily's door swung open. She stumbled out, oversized coat, face ashen. You're insane, Leavitt. Don't do it. Karoline turned, her voice icy. What's down there, Emily? Tell me, or stay out. Emily trembled, eyes darting like she feared a lurker. I don't want to die. Tom said it's something no one should see. They'll kill us all. Rivera cut in. If you won't talk, we'll find out. But what about you alone? Emily bit her lip, tears streaming. Fine, I'm in. If I stay, I'm a target. Karoline nodded, no sympathy. Good, shut it if you can't help. Rivera dropped his bag, handed Karoline the crowbar. You start, I've got your back. She took the cold metal, its chill biting her hand. She jammed it into a crack in the concrete, dirt crumbling away. They worked fast, Karoline prying, Rivera pulling. Emily shivered behind them. The concrete screeched, shifted, then a pop. Air rushed out, reeking of old, stale earth. Karoline stepped back, covering her nose. What is this? Rivera aimed his flashlight. A black hole gaped, a rusted metal ladder dropping deep. This isn't a basement, he whispered, gripping the light. Emily backed off, her voice breaking. I don't like this. We should leave. Karoline spun, eyes sharp. Leaving means they win. I didn't work for Trump to run. She raised her phone, filmed. X, see this? A ladder under my driveway. Who put it here? The stream hit 100,000 views, comments chaotic. Secret bunker. Watch for Russians. She pocketed the phone, looked at Rivera. You first. Rivera nodded, clipped the flashlight to his shoulder, descended. The ladder creaked under him. Clear so far, he called up. Metal walls, cold. Karoline followed, hands tight on the rungs, palms sweaty. The air down here was heavy, frigid, like another world. Emily hesitated, then sighed, climbed down, muttering, I'm crazy to follow you. Karoline's feet hit the ground, and she flicked on her flashlight, sweeping it around. A narrow hallway, gray metal walls, a few faded warning signs. Letters, not in English. Rivera pointed at one. Cyrillic, Russian. Karoline frowned, her heart racing. How's the Soviet Union under New Hampshire? Emily trembled behind them. Tom said they buried this long ago to watch someone. She hugged herself, eyes wild. Karoline stepped forward, the light catching faint, fresh boot prints on the floor. Not ours. Someone's been down here recently, she said, her voice low. Rivera nodded, his hand brushing his gun. They know you dug. Might be waiting. He turned to Emily. What else did your brother see? Tell me everything. Emily shook her head. He didn't give details, just said it was dangerous. Then ran. I think they threatened him. Karoline swept the light farther. The hallway led to a metal door, rusted but cracked open. She moved toward it. Rivera at her side, Emily trailing. If this is Russian, it could tie to Trump, she whispered, recalling conspiracy theories from D.C. Rivera nodded. Or worse, someone still using it. She clenched her fist, pushed the door. Metal screeched, icy cold. She turned to Emily and Rivera. No, turning back now. Ready? Rivera nodded, eyes steely. Emily exhaled, nodded faintly. I don't want to, but I'm here. The metal door screeched as Karoline shoved it hard, her flashlight slicing through thick darkness. Frigid air hit her nose, carrying the stench of rusted metal and damp, ancient earth. She stepped in, Rivera close, hand lightly on his gun. Emily clung behind, breathing hard, eyes darting like prey. The room was small, gray metal walls packed with old machines, dusty CRT screens, thick cables snaking across the floor like dead serpents. A control panel flickered weakly, its screen a static white. What the hell is this? Karoline whispered, scanning with the light. Rivera approached the panel, wiped dust off. A faint logo emerged. Soviet hammer and sickle. Soviet, he said, his voice low. Cold War base. Karoline frowned, her heart pounding. Under my driveway. How? She recalled closed White House briefings. Trump mentioning Russian spies infiltrating America since the 70s. Maybe a listening post, she muttered. Emily pressed against the wall, shaking. Tom said it was buried and forgotten, but they didn't forget. Karoline spun, her voice sharp. What did your brother find here? Spill it, Emily! Emily swallowed hard, eyes frantic. He found papers, Russian maps, name lists, he thought spies. Then ran after they threatened him. Rivera cut in. Who's they? Emily shook her head. Tom didn't know, just that they're powerful enough to burn his house. Karoline knelt, picked up a torn paper from the floor. Faded ink, Cyrillic. She handed it to Rivera. Can you read it? He skimmed it, frowned. List of locations. D.C., Boston, New York, dates from the 1980s. Karoline clenched her fist. A real spy station. But why are they back now? She aimed the light at the panel. Thick dust, but the keyboard was clean. Recently used. Someone's still active here, she said, her voice low. Rivera nodded, checked the cables. Still connected. Somewhere faintly humming with power. This place is alive. He pointed at a small mic in the wall's corner. Wired to the machine. They can hear us. They can... Karoline frowned, stepped over, yanked the mic out. Wires snapped, but the machine's light still blinked. They know we're down here, she muttered, her hands cold. She pulled out her phone, filmed. X, look at this! Soviet base under my house, still running. Someone's tracking me. No signal. She saved it, planning to post later. Emily clutched her head, her voice breaking. I told you we need to go now. Karoline turned, eyes sharp. Running means they win. I need to know how this ties to Trump. She moved deeper, spotting a wall map, faded but red dots clear. D.C., White House, CIA headquarters. This isn't just history, she whispered. They're targeting the government. Rivera nodded. If Russia left this, someone might have reactivated it against Trump. He swept his light across the floor. Fresh boot prints. Multiple sizes. Not just one person. More of them than we thought, he said, his voice firm. Rivera checked the door. Not locked, but heavy, recently opened. Someone's in and out regularly. Emily trembled. Tom said they had people here, sleeper spies, waiting for orders. Karoline smirked. Sleeper? They're awake now. She approached the console, touched the keyboard. Warm, unlike the surrounding cold. She hit enter. The static screen flickered. Russian text appeared. Rivera read fast. Last order, monitor target, report to DC, sent last week. Karoline clenched her fist. Target's me. Because of Trump. She recalled the ex-threats. Not random. They wanted her quiet. Rivera scanned with his light. A small iron cabinet, rusted lock, but ajar. He pulled it open. Inside were cassettes, old papers, and a Soviet-style recorder. Karoline grabbed a tape, handwritten label. Spider Project 1985. She handed it to Rivera. What's this project? He shook his head. No idea, but it sounds bad. She pocketed the tape. I'll analyze it later. Emily backed toward the door, her voice panicked. Enough! I can't take this! Karoline turned. Stay and help, or shut it. I'm not stopping. She swept the light farther. A connecting hallway, pitch black, machine hums echoing. Rivera pointed there. More ahead. Karoline nodded. Got to know it all. They entered the hallway, air heavier, bone-chilling. Metal walls were stained, some warning signs. Danger in Russian. Karoline scanned a larger door ahead. Old electronic lock, green light blinking. It's still active, she said, touching it. Rivera checked. No key. But a card slot beside it. Needs a code or we break it. Emily stood back, gasping. Hey, don't break it! They'll know! Karoline turned, her voice cold. They already know, Emily. SUV, Mike. They're waiting for our move. She took the crowbar from Rivera, jammed it into the door's seam. Help me, she ordered. Rivera nodded, pulled with her. The door screeched, shifted slightly. Machine noise inside grew clearer, rumbling like an old engine. Karoline peered in. The light hit a larger room, complex machinery, screens flickering with data. This isn't just a listening post, she whispered. It's a control hub. Rivera nodded, eyes hard, and someone's using it. Emily hugged herself, her voice shaking. I told you we're dead. Karoline gripped the crowbar, turned to them. Dead or not, I need the truth. Trump trusts me. I won't let him down. She stepped in, ready to face what waited ahead. Karoline stood in the underground room, her flashlight illuminating flickering screens with Russian data. The rumbling machines echoed like the steel heart of a dormant beast. Rivera swept his light around, hand tight on his gun, while Emily cowered near the door, breathing fast. This is a control hub, Karoline muttered. Her eyes locked on a screen showing a DC map, a red dot pulsing at the White House. They're targeting Trump. She pulled her phone, filmed. X, this is a Soviet base under my house, still active, aimed at the government. I need you to see this. No signal. She saved it, determined to post if she got out. Rivera approached a machine table, picked up an old plastic card, faded code, Soviet logo. They left traces, he said, his voice low. But who's using it now? A clack sounded from the hallway behind, sharp, metallic, like someone stepping on debris. Karoline killed her light, signaled silence. Rivera raised his gun, eyes tense. Emily covered her mouth, trembling. Footsteps grew closer, multiple, slow, organized. They're here, Karoline whispered, gripping the crowbar. She pulled Rivera and Emily behind a row of machines, darkness swallowing them. Headlights sliced through the door. 3 figures in black, masked, stepped in. One held a pistol. The others carried odd devices, scanners or weapons Karoline couldn't tell. They spoke low voices, not English, maybe Russian or Eastern European. She held her breath, filming through a gap, zooming in. X, if I don't make it, these are the ones stalking me, she thought. Rivera leaned close, whispered, Agents? Not civilians, they know we're here. Karoline nodded, eyes sharp. They want this quiet. An agent approached the console, typed. The screen lit up, data streaming fast. Target confirmed, he said, his voice cold, switching to accented English. Erase traces. Karoline clenched her fist. The target was her, because of Trump, Emily shook. Bumped a machine. A small clang rang out. The agents spun, light hitting them. "Someone's here!" one yelled. Rivera leapt out, gun up. "Freeze! Police!" But the agents didn't stop. A shot rang out, a bullet embedding in the machine near Karoline. She yanked Emily down, rolled behind a table. "Run!" she shouted, swinging the crowbar, smashing an agent's leg. He fell, howling. Rivera fired back, bullets missing, but forcing them back. Karoline dragged Emily toward the hallway. Rivera covering. "They've got numbers!" he yelled, bullets striking metal walls. Footsteps pounded, more coming down the ladder. Karoline glanced back, saw the lead agent with a scanner, eyes cold through the mask. "Wipe it clean," he ordered. She bolted into the hallway, Emily clinging, Rivera blocking the path up the ladder. "Go!" he shouted, but a boom shook the walls. The hatch above slammed shut. Emily screamed. "We're trapped!" Karoline turned, seeing the agents' lights closing in. She pulled them into a shadowed corner, her heart pounding. "Quiet, Emily!" she snapped, scanning a small vent on the wall, too narrow. Rivera panted. "They locked the exit. Got a plan B?" Karoline shook her head, pulled out her phone, filmed the final clip. "X, I'm trapped underground with unknown agents. This is proof of a base against Trump. If I vanish, you know why." She saved it, tucked the phone in her jacket. "We've got to break that door," she said, her voice firm. The footsteps stopped. The agent stood just outside the hallway, lights sweeping slowly. "Come out, Leavitt," a deep voice called in crisp English. "You can't escape." Karoline gripped the crowbar, glancing at Rivera. "They know my name." He nodded, eyes tense. "They've targeted you from the start, because of Trump." Emily trembled. "I told you they'll kill us all." Karoline smirked. "Not that easy." She signaled Rivera. He nodded, tossing the flashlight far. It rolled, clattering, and the agents turned toward it, exposing a gap. Karoline lunged, slamming the crowbar into the nearest one's hand. His gun dropped. He roared. Rivera fired, hitting another shoulder. But a second boom echoed. The hallway door slammed shut, trapping them in the small room. The agents' headlights faded. They retreated, but an engine roared above, like a heavy vehicle starting. Karoline knelt, panting. "They didn't kill us. Yet, what do they want?" Rivera checked the door, locked tight. "Maybe a trap, or they took something." Emily clutched her head, sobbing. "We're dead." Karoline stood, eyes sharp. "Not yet. I'm still alive, and President Trump still needs me." She scanned with the light. A small panel by the door, red light blinking. "If this is the lock, I'll break it," she said, jamming the crowbar in. Sparks flew, but the door didn't budge. Rivera pulled her back. "Stop! They could return any second." Darkness cloaked the underground room. Only Karoline's faint flashlight beam breaking it. The engine noise above had stopped, but the silence felt worse. She knelt by the panel, hands scratched from the useless crowbar strike, breathing hard. Rivera stood beside her, checking the door again, still sealed. Emily sat curled up, whimpering. "We're dead for sure. They'll come back." Karoline turned, her voice firm. "Stop crying, Emily. I haven't given up, and neither can you." She pulled her phone, checked the last clip, still saved, unsent. She tucked it in her jacket, eyes sharp. "If we get out, this goes on X. Trump needs to know. The government needs to know. This is a plot against him." Rivera nodded, his voice low. "You're right, but we're stuck. Gotta find a way out." She swept the light, solid metal walls, vent too small. No exit. A faint tick-tock came from the panel. The red light blinked faster. "What's that?" Emily quavered. Rivera frowned. "Maybe a timer. They set a trap, explosion or gas." Karoline clenched her fist. "They want to erase us, and this base." She stood, pulled Emily up. "Listen, you're scared, I get it. But if we live, I'll protect you. Now help me think." Emily wiped tears, nodded faintly. "I don't know. Tom said these places have emergency exits." Karoline looked at Rivera. "Find it, fast." He scanned with the light, felt the walls. A small seam appeared, but well shut. "No way out," he exhaled. Karoline knelt, eyeing the panel. "If I can't break it, I'll leave a trace." She pulled the Spider Project tape from her pocket, shoved it into the machine slot, then smashed the crowbar down. Sparks flew. The screen died. "X, if someone finds this, they'll know," she muttered. A distant boom sounded. Agents returning? Or something else? She looked at Rivera and Emily, eyes burning with resolve. "We will survive somehow." Darkness thickened, the ticking sped up, and the question hung. Could they escape? Karoline Leavitt's discovery of a Cold War-era Soviet base beneath her New Hampshire home isn't just a thrilling tale of espionage. It's a stark reflection of the deep political polarization and simmering tensions that define America in the 2020s. Her initial conflict with her neighbor, Emily, over a locked gate, while seemingly a minor dispute, quickly escalates into a microcosm of the ideological battles being fought across the nation. Karoline, a staunch conservative and former Trump administration official, embodies the fierce loyalty and unwavering belief in her convictions that characterize many on the right. Emily, the self-proclaimed liberal Karen, represents the passionate, sometimes performative, activism found on the left. Their immediate clash highlights how even mundane neighborhood disagreements can become flashpoints in our hyper-politicized environment. The role of social media, particularly X, in this story is also crucial. Karoline's instant live streaming and rallying of thousands of online supporters demonstrate the power of these platforms to amplify conflict and create echo chambers. In an era where individuals increasingly turn to social media to validate their views and find like-minded allies, Karoline's actions are a stark reminder of this digital reality. The discovery of the Soviet base itself taps into a deep vein of American anxiety, the fear of foreign interference and hidden threats. While the Cold War officially ended decades ago, the specter of espionage and the potential for external forces to undermine American interests remains a potent concern, especially in light of recent discussions about Russian interference in elections. Karoline's immediate suspicion that this discovery could be linked to threats against her and potentially President Trump reflects this pervasive unease. Furthermore, the story subtly explores the potential for unexpected alliances in the face of a common threat. Emily, initially Karoline's antagonist, ultimately chooses to cooperate when the danger becomes undeniable. This hints at a glimmer of hope in our divided society, that shared peril might bridge ideological divides and foster cooperation when fundamental truths are at stake. Karoline's unwavering determination to uncover the truth, even in the face of significant danger, mirrors the resilience and fighting spirit of many Americans who are deeply invested in their political beliefs. Her willingness to risk her safety to protect what she believes in resonates with a core tenet of American identity. Ultimately, Karoline's story, while fictional, serves as a powerful allegory for the challenges and complexities facing America today. It underscores the deep divisions, the pervasive influence of technology, the lingering anxieties about external threats, and the potential for both conflict and cooperation in a highly polarized nation. The truth, whether it lies buried beneath a driveway or hidden within the complexities of our society, often requires courage and a willingness to confront it head-on. What do you think Karoline and her neighbors should do next? Do you believe a hidden Soviet base is a plausible threat in modern America? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking stories and analysis.